Number 1. The mask you call a life. Listen closely because I'm not here to comfort you. I'm here to strip you bare. You walk around breathing, posting, smiling, chasing distractions, and you dare to call that living. But inside, you feel it. A quiet rot, a dull emptiness gnawing from the core. That is inner death. And it doesn't happen in one dramatic moment. It happens slowly, every time you lie to yourself, every time you betray your own standards to fit into someone else's script. Machiavelli understood something you don't. Men are not judged by their intentions, but by their results, their outcomes, their power. You can be kind, you can be pure, you can be full of good vibes and still be crushed under the boots of those who are colder, clearer, more strategic than you. That's the world you live in. A Machiavellian world where appearances rule and the weak are used as props. Right now, you're trapped between what you pretend to be and what you actually are. Outwardly, you look alive. You laugh at stupid jokes, you chase fleeting pleasure, you try to impress people who forget you the next day. Inwardly, you're exhausted, resentful, constantly measuring yourself against others and finding a quiet shame you never speak about. That's the apparent life, inner death you're living, and you know it. You feel it when you're alone at night, staring at the ceiling, flooded by a sense that you're wasting something you can't get back. Time, potential, soul. You keep telling yourself that eventually things will click, that one day you'll just wake up stronger, smarter, sharper. But that's a child's fantasy. Nothing changes until you decide to become dangerous, calm, calculating, deliberate, until you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as the architect of outcomes. This is your first lesson. The world does not care about your softness, your sensitivity, your inner poetry. It respects leverage, discipline, and emotional control. You can keep living half asleep, or you can wake up and become something else entirely. Not nicer, not more positive, but untouchable. Number 2, the anatomy of defeat. You were not defeated in some heroic battle. You were slowly worn down, one compromise at a time. Every time you stayed quiet when you should have spoken, you trained your soul to submit. Every time you agreed to something you didn't want, you taught your nervous system that your boundaries don't matter. Every time you swallowed your anger instead of channeling it into strategy, you buried your power deeper. That's how men lose themselves. Not with one big failure, but with 1,000 tiny surrenders. Machiavelli knew that fear and love are tools. He didn't romanticize them. But you have been trained to fear disapproval more than you fear stagnation. You'd rather disappoint yourself than disappoint others. That's backwards. You carry invisible chains: guilt, people-pleasing, fear of being seen as selfish. Meanwhile, the world is filled with people who are more than happy for you to stay like that. Weak and compliant, easy to predict and easy to control. They won't say it, but they feel safer with you small. Your defeat is not only external, it's psychological. You've let other people's opinions sit in your head like judges, passing sentence on every move you make. You hesitate, you second guess, you over-explain. That's not humility. That's internalized submission, and it has a cost. You never discover your true edges, your true capacity for ruthlessness. Not against others, but against your own laziness, your own excuses, your own softness. You keep telling yourself you're a good person, but what does that even mean if you're constantly betraying your own standards? Good to who? Good for what? Weakness masquerading as goodness is still weakness. This is your second lesson. Defeat begins long before anyone notices. It starts in your thoughts, in the way you frame your life, in the stories you tell yourself to avoid responsibility. If you want to stop losing, stop lying. Stop pretending you're trying your best when you know you're not. Power begins the moment you become brutally honest with yourself and refuse to tolerate your own mediocrity for one more day. Number 3, Machiavellian clarity. You've been fed the idea that the world should be fair, that if you're kind, the universe will repay you, that if you mean well, your life will somehow organize itself around your intentions. Look around. Is that what you see? Or do you see cunning people rising while naive people complain? Machiavelli didn't write for dreamers. He wrote for those willing to see things as they are. Human beings are driven by self-interest, fear, desire, insecurity, ambition. Not by your fantasy of how they should behave. If you build your life on illusions, you will suffer. So let's remove the blindfold. People will betray you if it benefits them and they think they can get away with it. They will forget you when you're no longer useful. They will love you when you fit their needs and hate you when you threaten their comfort. This doesn't mean everyone is evil. It means everyone is human. Accept it. Once you accept the darker side of human nature, you stop taking it personally. You stop expecting loyalty from the disloyal. You stop opening your chest to those who have already shown you their teeth. This is clarity, and clarity is power. A Machiavellian mindset doesn't require you to be cruel. It requires you to be realistic, to see motives, not just words, to watch behavior, not just promises, to recognize that influence, status, and leverage shape most outcomes far more than good intentions. You've been operating as if the world rewards purity. It doesn't. It rewards usefulness, strength, and self-command. So shift your perspective. Instead of asking, why are people like this? Ask, given that people are like this, how do I position myself to avoid being used and stay in control of my own life? That question changes everything. This is your third lesson. Emotional innocence is a luxury you can't afford. You don't need to become a monster. You need to become someone who can't be easily deceived. Someone who walks through the world with eyes open, mind sharp, heart armored. Number 4, inner death versus inner command. Inner death is not dramatic, it's quiet. You lose interest in your own growth. You tolerate nonsense. You scroll instead of strategizing. You distract yourself from that low, persistent voice that says, "You're meant for more than this." You ignore it until it goes silent. That's inner death, when your own potential stops arguing with you. You might still laugh, still go out, still perform, but something vital inside you has flatlined. You no longer respect yourself. You just manage yourself. But there is another path, inner command. Inner command doesn't mean you never feel pain. It means you never let pain dictate your behavior. It doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you decide what you do, regardless of fear. Stoic masculinity is not chest-beating bravado. It's cold, calm ownership of your reactions. You can't control the external game, but you can absolutely control your internal state. People will disrespect you. Plans will fall apart. Life will hit you hard, repeatedly, and without warning. The average man crumbles, complains, and blames. The man with inner command adjusts, recalibrates, and keeps moving with a flat, controlled gaze. That's who you must become. This isn't about feeling powerful. It's about being disciplined enough to act from principle, not emotion. When you're criticized, you don't spiral. You extract signal from noise. When you're rejected, you don't beg, you redirect. When you're hurt, you don't broadcast your wounds for sympathy. You heal in silence and return sharper. This is your fourth lesson. Inner death is the result of neglecting your own standards. Inner command is the result of enforcing them relentlessly. No one will hand you that transformation. No one will drag you out of your own decay. You want to come back to life? Then resurrect yourself. Set rules for your mind and follow them like law. Number 5, emotional armor, not emotional numbness. You've been hurt enough to toy with the idea of shutting down completely, to stop caring, to become numb. But numbness is not power, it's self-abandonment. You don't need to stop feeling, you need to stop leaking. Emotional armor is not pretending you don't care. It's learning to channel what you feel instead of being controlled by it. Anger can turn into boundaries. Pain can turn into standards. Fear can turn into preparation. When you lack emotional armor, every insult hits you like a blade. Every rejection feels like a collapse. Every disagreement becomes a threat to your identity. You become reactive, unstable, easy to provoke, and that makes you manipulable. Cold power psychology is not about destroying your emotions. It's about reorganizing them under one ruler, you. Imagine yourself as a fortress. Your emotions live inside, Not locked in dungeons, not running wild, but under disciplined order. Outsiders don't get direct access. They don't get to push a button and watch you lose control. They see calm. They hear measured words. They feel distance. You become unreadable. That unsettles people. They're used to instant emotional feedback, to dramatic responses, to visible insecurity. When you stop performing that dance, they don't know how to handle you. Good. That's another layer of protection. This is your fifth lesson. You are allowed to feel everything, but you are not allowed to broadcast everything. Your emotions are intel, not marketing. Learn to sit with them, learn from them, and then decide your move like a strategist, not a child having a tantrum. Emotional armor means you can be fully alive inside and still impossible to destabilize from the outside. That is the essence of being untouchable. Number 6, power without the fantasy. You've been sold cartoon images of power, loudness, flashy aggression, dominance posturing. That's not real power. That's insecurity dressed up in noise. Real power is quiet, structured, and often invisible. It's the man who knows exactly what he wants, exactly what he will not tolerate, and exactly what he's building toward, with or without applause. Machiavelli understood that power is less about how you feel and more about the position you occupy in relation to others. The leverage you hold, the options you have, the independence of your moves. You don't need to control anyone. You just need to build a life where no one can easily control you. That means skills that are rare and valuable, a mind that is disciplined and hard to fool, a body that can handle stress and strain, a network built on mutual benefit, not desperate dependence. Your current life, if you're honest, is probably fragile. One person leaving, one job loss, one setback could throw you into chaos. That's a signal, not an insult. It means you've built on sand. Start pouring concrete. Power is built in layers. Competence, boundaries, financial control, physical resilience, emotional composure, strategic awareness. None of this is glamorous. It's long, often boring work. But the result is this. You don't beg, you don't chase, you don't panic. You respond, you adapt. You move with deliberate steps. Cold power is knowing that if someone walks away, you remain whole. If a deal falls through, you remain stable. If the world doubts you, you remain focused. This is your 6th lesson. Stop fantasizing about power as something external you get. Start treating it as a structure you build inside and around you, brick by brick, decision by decision. Number 7, boundaries, the silent weapon. Weak men think saying yes to everyone will earn them love. It doesn't. It earns them quiet contempt. People may use you, but they will never truly respect you. Boundaries are not about being rude. They're about recognizing that your time, energy, and focus are finite resources. If you don't protect them, others will consume them without hesitation. In a Machiavellian world, the man with no boundaries is easy prey. He over-explains himself. He apologizes for existing. He bends under the slightest pressure. You will not become untouchable by trying to be universally liked. You will become untouchable by being selectively accessible. You decide who gets your attention, who gets your effort, who gets proximity to you. You don't argue about your boundaries, you enforce them. Calmly, consistently. People will test you. They'll push. They'll guilt trip, manipulate, frame you as cold or selfish when you stop overgiving. Let them talk. Their discomfort is proof that you've changed the script. You are no longer playing the role they wrote for you. This is uncomfortable, but necessary. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. They don't shut life out, they keep poison out. The more you respect your own limits, the more you start to attract situations and people that align with your direction instead of derailing it. This is your 7th lesson. Every time you say yes to something unaligned, you are saying no to your own evolution. Start reversing that. Say no more. Say it calmly. Say it without explanation. Let your life organize itself around your standards, not your fear of being disliked. Number 8, detachment, the art of not needing. Neediness is the most visible form of weakness. When you need someone's approval, they own you. When you need a specific outcome to feel worthy, it owns you. When you cling to relationships, jobs, identities, or habits out of fear, you hand over your power voluntarily. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you are willing to walk away from anything that violates your standards, no matter how much you care. This is one of the hardest skills to develop, and one of the most liberating. You stop chasing, you stop begging, you stop trying to convince people of your value. Your value becomes a fact you embody, not a plea you make. Look at your life right now and ask, where am I acting from fear of loss rather than strength of choice? Where am I clinging because I don't trust myself to rebuild? Detachment is built on self-trust. You know that even if everything collapses, you have the mindset and the discipline to rebuild. That's why you can stay calm when others panic. In a Machiavellian world, the man who needs the least negotiates from the strongest position. People feel it. They sense that you are with them because you choose to be, not because you're terrified of being alone. That difference changes how they treat you. This is your 8th lesson. Train yourself to let go. If someone disrespects you repeatedly, detach. If a situation drains you and stunts you, detach. No drama, no long speeches, just a quiet withdrawal of your energy and presence. The more you master the art of not needing, the more untouchable you become. Number 9, war with the weak version of you. There is someone you've been protecting your whole life, the weak version of you, the one who wants comfort over challenge, validation over truth, distraction over focus. He lives in your head, always negotiating. We've done enough today, we deserve a break. Let's start tomorrow. Let's keep the peace. Let's not make things awkward. Let's not risk failing. That voice has been your unofficial ruler. It has cost you years. Machiavellian thinking isn't about waging war on the world. It's about waging war on that internal saboteur. You don't negotiate with him anymore. You override him. You wake up when you say you will, not when you feel like it. You speak your mind when necessary, even if your heart is pounding. You walk away from situations that insult your standards, even if you're scared of the consequences. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you injure the weak version of you. Every time you enforce a boundary, you starve him. Every time you do hard things while feeling fear, you bury him. That's the only violence you're allowed to embrace, the systematic dismantling of your own softness where it keeps you small. This is your 9th lesson. The enemy is not out there. The true enemy sits inside, whispering excuses in your own voice. Start treating that voice like an adversary, not a friend. You are not here to keep him comfortable. You are here to replace him. Number 10, becoming untouchable. Untouchable doesn't mean nothing bad ever happens to you. It means nothing breaks you. It means life can hit you, people can leave you, plans can fail, but your core remains intact, your direction unchanged. You've learned that apparent life with inner death is the default path for most men, smiling outside, decaying inside. You are done with that. From now on, you cultivate inner command, emotional armor, boundaries, detachment, and relentless honesty with yourself. You no longer expect the world to be fair, you expect yourself to be prepared. You no longer chase love at the cost of self-respect. You choose relationships that align with your standards, or you stay alone and keep building. You no longer drown in your emotions, you use them as data. You no longer defend your weaknesses, you hunt them down and fix them. This is cold power, calm eyes, steady breath, disciplined action. You become the kind of man who does not brag, does not explain, does not perform. You simply move with precision. People may misunderstand you. Some will call you distant or harsh. Let them. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to master yourself. Remember this final law. When your inner world is solid, the outer world loses its leverage over you. That is what it means to be untouchable. If this message hits something inside you, if it woke up a part of you that refuses to keep living half alive, then don't let it fade like another piece of content you forget tomorrow. Lock this in, replay it, live it. And if you're ready for more of this brutality, more of this clarity, more of this cold, sharpening truth, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. So the weak version of you has fewer chances to drag you back into sleep.